Oh, that's really loud for me.
Mr. Cloud, do you need me?
You guys want to go find a seat? Wait, we are. It's 6 o'clock. I want to go home. I've been here all day. Huh? It better be over. It'll be over before 7. I won't go back home. Hopefully less than that. Right, good. Where are our dance teachers? All right, good evening, everybody. What? Oh, okay. Oh, well, we'll just drink it. All right, good evening. Thanks for coming. I'm going to try to make this as quickly as possible. I haven't gone home yet, and you probably want to go home too. And of course, you want ice cream. So it is my honor to say I am Robin Rost. I'm the choir director here. And I wanted to first introduce all of our performing arts teachers that are here right now. I still don't see our dance teachers, but we do have Lori Town, Miss Town, our drama teacher. Woo, 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 woo. We have Miss Julie Willis, our amazing orchestra teacher. Woo, woo, woo. Mr. Blau, who's back there helping with the melting ice cream. Woo, 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 woo. Mrs. Alston, our piano teacher, will just woo, woo, woo from afar. Woo. And then, of course, we have Miss May, our dance teacher, and our ballroom teacher is Mrs. Kenny. So, there's Mr. Blau. Take a bow, Blau. Bow for Blau. All right. Good. Okay. Well, as you know, this is an informational meeting only. So you have come here just to find out information about our tour. Every 4 years at Heritage, we have taken a large performing arts tour where we take everybody who's in the performing arts in high school. So last 4 years ago, we went to Hawaii, and this year we said, hey, let's go to New York City. So we're super, super excited about going to New York because that makes a whole lot of sense as performers and in the arts that we would go to, you know, the Mecca of the arts. So that is what today is about, is learning more about that trip. Okay, as we begin, I want to introduce to you our tour manager. He is in charge of all of these things. He's the one who plans everything, and he works with this company named Fame Events, and his name is Bert Johnson.
Hey guys, I'm excited to be here with you tonight. We're actually located right here in Mesa. So I've been doing this for now 32 years. Taking student tours all over the country, do a lot of special events throughout the whole world, including the Pearl Harbor Memorial Parade and the D-Day Memorial Parade in Normandy, France. So we do all kinds of things like that. Been doing tours to New York, probably taken, I don't know, 600 or 700 schools to New York over the years. So it's exciting. There's just so much to do in New York. I'm excited to be with you, and I actually won't be with you on the tour, but I will plan it for you. I actually think I'm flying home the day you guys fly in, so from New York. But unfortunately, we have an orchestra cup that takes place at the Lincoln Center that same weekend just before. But we will have a tour operator to be with you. His name's Trey Gibbons. He's amazing, amazing. You'll love him. He's great. And he actually went back to New York originally as an actor. Went to NYU, I think it was, for acting school, and now is a full-time tour escort manager and knows more about the East Coast, I think, than I ever will, but he's amazing. He'll be really good for you. So I'm going to turn it back over, and then as we have questions and you need to know about different things, I'll be able to help you out.
Thanks, Bert. Yay. Woo! Great. I have used Bert in the past for many years, not just here at Heritage, but also at other schools that I've been at. So it's been, he's wonderful. He's so informative, so helpful. And I just can't say enough about him and Fame Events. The first thing I wanted to talk about is why do we travel? Here at Heritage, we do a lot of traveling, don't we? We have a lot of trips, and there's a lot of choices that we can make. And wow, isn't that so exciting that we are in a place where we can make so many great choices and have great options and opportunities. So why do we travel? We travel because obviously we want to learn. We're in an educational institute and we want to learn institution. We want to appreciate and encounter excellence in music, theater, architecture, and culture, and that also includes dance as well, and drama and all of that. So we want to appreciate those sorts of things. Yeah, I got to come closer. I can tell. And also, we want to grow, to develop our confidence. We know that when we get out of our little bubble here of Mesa, Arizona, and get to see more of the performing arts in other parts of the world, we grow. And also, sort of our level of excellence and our expectation rises. And that's what we want for our scholars. We want their level of excellence to rise. We also want to connect amongst all of everyone in all the performing arts department. I know I can say this for all of us performing arts teachers. We love to collaborate and we love to see each other and to have the scholars work well together so that it's not just the choir kids or just the orchestra kids, but to really see them all get together and to sort of love music and love the arts together and develop those friendships over time. We want to represent Heritage Academy. I always say this, like one of my loves is to like tell the whole world about our school, to tell the whole community about Heritage Academy and who we are. And so we get to showcase that when we go to other places and travel. So whether it's the New York trip or one of the other trips here, to be an ambassador for Heritage and to be so proud of where we come from, I think is a very exciting thing. And also to be inspired. So that's the biggest thing, I think, just to really be inspired by the arts and to see other performance professionals and see why do we do what we do. And that's very, very invigorating to see great performers perform. It makes us better. It doesn't necessarily mean that we want to go off and become a performer, but maybe we do. And frankly, many of us are performers in our jobs every single day because we have to get up in front of people and speak, or there's just so much to performing in all kinds of jobs, not just in the arts. So then we ask ourselves, like I said, 4 years ago, we went to New York City. Well, we went to Hawaii. So why do we want to go to New York City? And I thought Lori, being the drama teacher, would be awesome to speak into this. Yeah.
Because why not? Oh, as she says, it is such a mecca. There's so much going on in New York. There's so many different opportunities, and Hawaii is beautiful and lovely, but we didn't have nearly the selection there of opportunities as far as educational institutions and places to go, and the amount of workshops and things that we can find and do there. It's just a completely different animal. So having an opportunity to go different places, different trips is really beneficial. So there you go.
So when we go to New York, we obviously want to go to Broadway and we want to see professional theater, but not just from the standpoint of the chair, but also from the standpoint of what goes on behind the scenes, whether that's in the pit or whether that's backstage or whether that's working with choreographers in a workshop. We want to see what does it really take to put on a show like that. And it doesn't just take singers and performers, it also takes tech crew to put on a show like that. It takes musicians in the pit orchestra, it takes directors and choreographers. There's so much to putting on a New York production. So we want to see all a part of that. So that sort of ties in with that industry access, learning directly from Broadway performers, directors, musicians, and other arts professionals. And the behind the scenes, like I said, just being able to see what it really takes to put on a big symphony orchestra. You think you go to the orchestra and that's just all it is. There's so much more to putting on a big orchestral performance or a symphony performance. Let's see, a world-class arts community, obviously. That's what New York is all about, New York and LA. And authentic application. We want to see classroom concepts come to life. Those things that we talk about as teachers all the time, you know, to really see it come to life, I think is very exciting for these students. To just not take my word for it, but to really see it happen. And also to have performance opportunities. I know one of the things that the choir is going to do, we're going to sing at the St. John the Divine Cathedral. If you've ever seen that place or been there, it's absolutely magnificent. They don't build churches like that here in Arizona. So it's I've had choirs sing there before, so that's been very exciting. All right, so our tour itinerary is not set in stone as of right now because we're still putting everything together. So these are just sort of some glimpses of some of those things that we'll get to do. The plan currently is to leave on a red-eye flight Sunday night. Do you want to talk about this? Sure. Okay.
Why a red eye? The reason we do a red eye is so that you have all day on Monday. Otherwise, you leave here at 7 o'clock in the morning, get in New York at 4 o'clock, stay at the airport for 2 hours. By the time you fight through traffic, check into the hotel at 8 p.m., you've missed a whole day. So by doing a red-eye flight where you don't get much sleep, you get into town earlier. Some of the flights I'm looking at right now get in about 5:35 in the morning, which, you know, when you take a look at the difference between Arizona time, that's 3 hours earlier. So it just kind of depends on how much sleep you can get on the plane that will help you be able to stay awake the next day and be able to participate and get as much out as you can of New York the next day. We only have a bus in New York for 2 days, and that's it. The day you arrive, up until you check into the hotel, and then they'll pick you up at the hotel on the last day before you go to the airport, and that's it. The rest of the time, we're going to be on subway, okay? That's part of the New York experience, number one. But number two, there's no better way to get around New York. A bus will take you 3 or 4 times as long as it would to take a subway. And so that's the reason why you do that. And we'll talk about subway tickets and stuff here in a little while and how that works. But yeah, just as far as, you know, what we have, and I don't know if you have more than just kind of one day, but this is kind of the way it is. In that time, that itinerary, we have all kinds of things included. You get to see all the highlights, like kind of the Statue of Liberty. We're not going to go to the Statue of Liberty because there's another couple of tours that take place here at Heritage that my coworker, Chris Meeker, puts together through Historic Journeys. That's one of our other companies. So we do that one. We do the Williamsburg and Washington, D.C. tour and stuff too. So we do all those. But you're going to be able to do a lot. We're going to see 2 Broadway shows. You're going to see, you're going to do a guided tour. Here's all the things you're going to get to do. The workshops, performance opportunities. As far as workshops go, there's a couple of different ones we can look at. Oftentimes we're able to get either actors or choreographers or dance captains from the different shows that you're actually going to go see that will show up and do a workshop with all the kids. Last year we had a group that went and saw MJ the musical, and they had the dance captain that taught them an actual number that was in the MJ show. So they went and learned that dance, and then that night they went and watched the show, and they met up with her afterwards when she came out the cast door, and it was really fun. So all kinds of things like that. Times Square, of course. We're going to be staying in a hotel that's on 40th Street and 8th, so you're right in the Midtown area, the theater district. Great place to stay. The hotel will have breakfast included every morning. Just a note about the hotel. Hotels in New York, the rooms are very small. So just know that you've got 2 beds in a room. You're going to have about 1.5 to 2 feet between your bed and the window, and from your bed and the dresser in front of you, and from your bed and the front door. It's just how it is. They're just really, really small. And there's usually only about 8 to 10 rooms per floor. And then there's about 35 floors in each of these little tiny hotels. But it's the best way to do it. It's just the way they are, especially if you want a free breakfast or the breakfast that's included with it. Otherwise, you're paying $35 a day for breakfast, which is not fun to do at all. So the itinerary is going to be a blast. You're going to be jam-packed from early morning until late at night. This is a highlight tour. It's not like we're going to go spend 6 hours in Central Park. You'll have a chance to walk through Central Park in half an hour, and then we're on to the next thing. You're going to be able to do a Radio City music hall tour. Lots of steps in that, up and down, up and down, up and down, but you get to go through all of the Radio City music halls, so that'll be a lot of fun. But just all kinds of different things you'll see. You'll get down to the, we had to kind of take it off the itinerary to get the trip approved because it's on the other Washington, D.C. tour, but we still want to try and do the 9/11 Museum because I think that's important for you to see. It's just really incredible to be able to go into the museum, to be able to see the footprint where those Twin Towers were, and just an incredible thing to be part of. But lots and lots of stuff. We'll have the itinerary out to you that you can see as we get things put together. Just a note about airfare. I cannot book any airfare until I have the first deposit. I usually have 10 days from the time that I contract with an airline to get that deposit in. And so I don't quote airfare until I have that. I was just looking at some air today to see what it was going to run. And so that should be included in the price that you kind of are putting out there, pretty close to it, maybe just a little bit more. We'll see how it goes. But I think that's it for now.
Good, awesome, good, thank you. Okay. Whoops, going back, going back. There we go. All right, so we say the investment for this trip is $1,999. Oh, here's our dance teachers. Woo, 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 woo. All right, so yeah, so it's $1,999, and it could be less, but you need to budget for that much money. That's what the cost is, what we're saying will be, and I'll explain all that here in a little bit. And as Bert already said, it includes pretty much everything. I can show you on the next slide what it doesn't include, but it does include all of our transportation as far as the motor coach and the hotel. It includes the breakfast, the dinners. We have group dinners. That is always so much fun. Because he arranges these group dinners, you walk in, you get like this ginormous section of the restaurant, if not the whole restaurant. It is so much fun, and everyone's always together. We don't, separate people out like that, so it's a very safe way. Anyway, so everything, the admission to the theaters, all our workshops, all of that is included in that cost. What's not included are our subway cost is not, and so that is a one-time fee, and we will, as it gets closer, we would talk to you more about how that works, but it's about, did you say $35? It's about $35 to buy a card, and then that gets you through. That's a one-time purchase, but they can't have that ahead of time. We purchase that when they're there. So, yes.
So the MTD, or the metro system back in New York, changed last year. It used to be that we could go out and pre-purchase all the Metro cards for everybody, and you can get a whole week-long card that you could use as often as you wanted, unlimited rides, etc. Last year they changed. They decided they're doing away with that. Now they're only allowing a tap-and-go card, okay? So a tap-and-go card is any debit card you might have that would have basically that little chip on it. And so it's something you don't have to slide in, but you just kind of put on top and tap it, and that's it, and that works. So you need to make sure that your student that's going on the trip will have some sort of a tap-and-go card like that they can use, and it'll actually end up being cheaper than $35 because it'll be for just whatever ride they have, which runs about, I think, $2.85 a ride, and we have about 8 rides or something like that figured in, and so you'll need that. Apple Pay works, and Google Pay works on the Samsung phones, so either one of those. So as long as they've got that available, you just need to keep that. Unfortunately, we can't buy anything. They keep saying that they're going to try and come up with another group system, but they haven't done it yet, and it's been 2 years now. So anyway, just keep that in mind.
Thank you. So before we move on, I just want to say, again, this is sort of a touch meeting. I want to just touch on things, not going into the deep specifics until we get closer, as far as like, okay, this is what you need to bring. You need to bring a tap. You need to bring these clothes, those sorts of things. We will have another sort of mandatory meeting for anyone going, like 2 weeks prior to departure, just so those little details. So if you're feeling like you need to know that right now, you can come and ask me, or just know that this isn't the only time you'll get information. All right. Anyway, so yes, so once we get there on the red-eye flight, we'll have to purchase breakfast, and then when we get to the airport that evening or that afternoon, you'll have to purchase dinner at the airport. And then, of course, like we said, the subway pass, or he's saying it might even be cheaper than the $35. So personal spending money is optional and not included, obviously. And again, we'll talk more about that later, too, on how much we think might be a good idea to bring for spending money. So it's really good, though. This is another reason for your scholar to attend a tour, is to be independent on their budgeting. So it helps them, learn how to know when to spend and when not to spend. Okay. The tour payment schedule is that we need a $100 non-refundable deposit by August 31st in order to start booking the airplane tickets. So nothing can be done for airfare until those deposits get in. So if you are planning on attending, then that August 31st date is a hard deadline. We need that 100 then so that we can book those planes. If you don't book by then and say a month later you want to go, we can't promise that we can get you on, because we've already purchased the block of airplane tickets. And it's really important to us as educators that our students are traveling together. We don't want like, okay, you 10 are going over there and you 5 are going there. we travel together. So that's very important for safety reasons. Then September 30th would be our $400 deposit, October, November, and January 31st. By January 31st, the total that you will have paid is $1,700. It's at that point that we can go, all right, how much more? Is it 100 more or is it 200 more? But I've committed to not letting it be more than the 1999. And so we're doing as many things as we possibly can to help fundraise. And of course, you all know about our car show, and so that's a general fundraiser for all of us in the arts department, not just choir. So whatever that pot holds in the end, we can apply that as well. So if we're lucky, we stays at 1,700, but there's your window right there, 1,700 to 1999. Okay. Okay, so I just said that the deposit is non-refundable and secures your place on an airplane. If plans change, you can maybe speak into this a little bit more, but we will have a schedule set that says, okay, at a certain amount of time after, your $100 isn't refundable, but if it comes to like a month before, we're gonna have non-refundable things. So can you explain that better? I don't explain that as well as you do.
There is a cancellation schedule that's on there based on what we have to pay our suppliers on your behalf. So originally within the first 15 days, your $100 deposit, usually once I pay the airline and give them that money, we don't get it back. You cancel the ticket, it's too late, we can't get that deposit back. So that's a hard set, usually 15 to 30 days. After that, it's a 25%, usually by about November 15th. Of the total cost of the tour, 25%, 50% at 60 days, 75% at 30 days, and then 100% at 14 days prior to departure, okay? I would suggest, if you're really concerned about that, go out and look. You can find it all over the place, but you can get trip cancellation insurance. It may cost you a little bit more, and they will not refund you 100%. They will usually refund you up to 75% of whatever you can't get back from whatever we can refund. So look into that. Trip cancellation insurance, trip travel insurance, it's all over the place for students, and knowing what your cost is right up front. Usually if you want to get trip cancellation insurance, you have to do it within 15 days after your first deposit. So if you want to get that, go ahead and purchase that in advance. If there's any question at all that, hey, if we want to do this, we may not be able to get back, it might be worth looking at. And it's really not that expensive. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you. You say that much better than me. Okay, also just remember, well, first of all, this is a performing arts tour, so if you're a high school student, scholar, and you're not in a performing arts, you're not in the dance groups that are going, or the high school choirs, one of the high school choirs, or drama, you guys want to mention who you're saying is going? Do you guys want to do that? So for me, it's all my high school choir members that are eligible to go. But if they're in high school and not in one of these groups, not just anybody can go, I guess.
For ballroom, it's ballroom 3. For dance, it's dance company. I did have some in advanced dance talk to me, and so there's a potential for that as well.
For drama, it's all high school drama and stagecraft.
Jazz band and symphonic band.
Any orchestra, high school scholar.
Okay.
And also, it's a no pass, no play, which is what we do here at Heritage. And so basically what that means is if a scholar fails a core class at a semester, that then makes them ineligible to attend. So there's that. Okay, let's go on. We're getting close to the end. I'm so excited. Okay, let's talk about ways to help you raise your funds, because that is my total goal. Okay, yeah, I want to go, woohoo, wouldn't this be fun? But I know I am a teacher. My husband, we're small business owners. We know how hard it is, and we know that gas is $4.50 a gallon. And so $2,000 is not, to be blinked at. It's a lot of money. So here's some of the things that we are doing this year. First of all, Mrs. Alston, who's not here right now, is working at getting us those SWIG gift cards. I don't know if has anyone here ever done those SWIG gift cards before? You have? Okay, so those are where you buy a SWIG gift card and you get more for it, and so you can send them to give them to friends or whatever. But SWIG, how does it work? SWIG gives you money back. This is Mrs. Alston's thing.
We get a percentage from the, so I don't know what the dollar amount is. I don't know if Miss Sina's in here, but I think, let's say it's a $50 card,
Then we get half of
then
that
we
or
get
something.
a portion of that. So
Right.
all you have to do is sell that SWIG card to a friend that goes to SWIG. It's a benefit for them. They get some sort of, drink off or whatever. So people like to go to SWIG. Then it's a good deal for them to buy it, but then we also get a percentage off.
Great, great. Okay, and then our car show sponsorships, so far up to this point, I've pretty much been the one that has gone out and gotten our sponsors. Businesses will pay, $1,000 or whatever to be a sponsor, or $500 to be a sponsor, and we put their name on their shirt, and they have their name at the car show on these big sponsor boards and all of that. But this year, I want to give scholars the opportunity to go out and get sponsorships for the tour, and so then we want to put those sponsors on T-shirts. So on tour T-shirts. So we're going to have a way for them to do that. We have a QR code today to show you how to get in and to have your scholar go up to someone who maybe your neighbor owns a business and to say, hey, I'm going to New York. Would your business like to be a sponsor for our trip? And then what do they get in return? Their name on the back of the shirt, as well as having a tax deduction because it is a donation to a nonprofit. It is not a donation to Olivia. It is a donation to Heritage Academy's tour that we then know is for Olivia. But do you see what I mean? So that's how that works, okay? So those sponsorships. We also have these tour sponsors. Well, I guess I was just talking about tour sponsorships, not car show sponsorships. So the car show sponsorships are separate, but those are the sponsorships that go into that general car show fund that when the end happens and we go, okay, we've got $5,000 sitting in this pot. Can we apply that to this trip? How much does that take off of everybody? That's what the car show sponsorships are for. So we're going to ask scholars to go out and get that because they need to have some skin in the game. Don't you agree, Mom and Dad? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, so car show sponsorships, tour sponsorships, and finally our ECA contributions. And if you don't know what that is yet, you can come and talk to us at the end. Okay, we're going to go on. Yes? Yep.
Okay, so ECA. If you found 3 couples that have not paid ECA this year or next year, and they pay it your whole trip, it covers it all. Okay, so ECA is really worth looking into. And parents can donate. So if you haven't donated to ECA, then I highly recommend you donate $400 this year, $400 next year. There's $800 already towards your trip.
Arizona is the only state that has ECA funds that you can use towards trips. So take advantage of it while you can. I've had 6 kids that have gone through high school and through trips all over the place, some with me, some with other companies, and we almost funded all of them through ECA funds. So take advantage of them while you can. It's the way to do it.
Thank you. And if you aren't aware, the ECA is not a tax deduction, it is a tax credit. So if you have to give the money to the state of Arizona, why not give it to your child or your scholar instead? So the state allows you to earmark your state tax dollars to them. I just think it's fantastic that you can do that for your own scholar, for your own child. That's fantastic. And the fact is we're leaving in 2027, so you could do a donation, like Ms. Willis said, in 26 and again in 27. So $400 per couple, that's $800. So, okay, I'm going to have Mrs. Edgeworth, our fabulous piano accompanist, come up and talk to you a little bit about this form.
So this is a form that we created that your scholar can hand out to friends, family members, neighbors, businesses, that has the QR codes with the ECA tax credit link, as well as the sponsorship link. We're still finalizing the details of the sponsorship. Mrs. Ross found a really cool site that does not charge anything for people to donate, whereas a lot of the other companies, pretty much all the other companies, will charge a percentage of that donation fee. So we're trying to see if we can get that work. If not, we have another thing in the pipeline. But as soon as we get that finalized, or if we find out we can't do it, that form will be available to your student. They can make copies. There'll also be a digital copy on Google Classroom, so they can print however many copies that they need. But we just figured it's a really easy way to hand to someone. It has all the directions, walks them through how to do, whether they want ECA or non-ECA. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for your scholars to raise their money.
And speaking of that, for ECA money, also on Google Classroom, I've shared with all of the teachers, and I know on Choir we've put it on the Google Classroom, are 3 different form letters, template letters. And so those letters are for you, your scholar, to send to people that says, hey, I'm going to New York, and I would love it if you would consider the ECA tax credit and donation, and it explains it all really well. So those people who don't even know what ECA is, they'll read the letter and then they'll say, hey, that's fantastic. I would love to donate to little Johnny's trip to New York City. But the 3 letters are different wording, because the first one is for like very formal, like dad's boss. And the second one is more semi-formal, like maybe a neighbor. And the third one is like for people you know and love, like Aunt Susie. So those are just kind of worded. They're templates, so you can change them however you want to. But those are just great tools to use. I mean, they're there for your use, so you should just use them. Who doesn't love that? Okay, let's go ahead. All right, let's talk about chaperones. So first of all, first and foremost, it is the most important thing that your scholar is safe when they are on tour with the Heritage Academy trip. So we do this by lots of things happening in the background. And we also do this with chaperones. And so we need wonderful chaperones to go along with us. The chaperones don't go because they want a vacation. The chaperones go because they care about their scholar, they love their children, and they want to be a part of what they're a part of, and they want to support that, and they want to help. But they do work. The chaperones do have a job. So the ideal chaperone ratio would be 1 for every 4. I would love that. If we don't get 1 for every 4, we'll do our very best to try to do 1 for every 4. And what that means is that that one chaperone would be responsible for those 4 scholars, or if it's up to 6 or 8 scholars, they're always responsible for them. They always know where they are. They check on their room. They make sure they're in their room. They make sure they get up. They make sure they know where they're seated. We also do a buddy system, so no scholar can ever, ever, ever be alone, ever. They must always go everywhere with someone else. So Malin cannot wander to the bathroom by himself. I have to give Malin a hard time. Okay. So that's another sort of behind the scenes rule, but our chaperones go through training so that they know how to do it and what to expect. So you're not just blindly going about being a chaperone. So we would have 2 to 3 mandatory meetings ahead of time to give you the ropes on what it really entails. Now the chaperones do still pay the same amount of price as we do, but they do it because they love their scholar. They do it because they want to support. So if you are interested in chaperoning, all you have to do is fill out an application. We can't just let anybody chaperone who wants to, but it's not a difficult application or anything like that, but we do ask that you fill out the application. If you are chosen to be accepted into chaperoning, I say that, it sounds so negative, but if you get to do that, I guess I should say, this new, is it a state law or is it, okay, where all volunteers have to be fingerprinted. Yeah. So again, the safety of your scholar is the most important thing. All right, I think I said everything that's on that already. There's a QR code right there. So if you, thank you. If you're interested in chaperoning and you would like to apply, or you just want to look at the application, the QR code on the screen right now will take you directly to the Google form to chaperone, to apply to chaperone. We'll leave that up for a second or two. Yes. In order to get an airplane ticket, we really do need that, yeah.
And we can have all the teachers post these in Google Classroom tomorrow so they can access
Yes.
the slideshow later.
Yes. Hopefully you have access to your Scholars Google Classroom. If you don't, you need to tell them to let you, because they're supposed to. Okay. Like, I didn't know that. Invite guardian, that's what it says. All right.
If you have two scholars, which one do you fill it out for?
The one you love the most, yeah.
Or the problem child.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know the answer. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. You could, it's a blank, so you could put both names in the space. Okay. Yeah. What? Oh, yes. I think that's. Do you want me to say that? Do you want to say it? I think, don't you have the group on the Google Classroom, what group they're in? Yes. Yeah. So it's on the forum. I don't, okay. So just select one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose if you have little Johnny's in choir and little Mary is in ballroom and you want to chaperone for ballroom, then you would put Mary's name in there too. So, okay. Also, you can always, we can discuss this, but sometimes parents don't want to chaperone their own scholar. It's true. So, all right. So if you are ready to join us, and we'll take questions here in a moment, but we just, again, this was for information only so that you can make a good decision. There's so many trips here at the school. This is one of many, but I know that there's another trip going to New York City as well, but I think it's like $2,400. So but it would have different things to do, so. Make sure you reserve your spot by August 31st. The QR code in front of you is the sign up Google form. So if you're ready today, you want to fill that form out, go right ahead. Once you fill that form out, then we know that you're going to be submitting the $100. You can't submit your $100 there yet, but you can at least say, I'm going to submit my $100 or however much that you want to do. And that puts you on the list, and we know that you're committing to the tour. So that's what that is. It's the permission form. It's like, yes, I want to go. Yes, my child has health insurance, or no, they don't. This is the form for that, all the medical information and stuff. Which makes me also want to say, too, chaperones, when you are chaperoning, you are privy to most all of the medical information on that child, because it's important that that child is kept safe. So things like allergies or medications that they have to take. Okay, reserve your spot, start fundraising, start to think of ways that you can start sending out some of those sponsorship letters and ECA letters, and also watch for updates as we continue to put everything together. All right, it is now time. It's 20 till, so I think we'll take like 10 minutes to take some questions. We're going to take 10 minutes for questions, and then we'll take 10 minutes for ice cream. So do you want to get up here and answer questions with me? Okay, yes. Correct. Correct. Brielle. We're still working on that. We have it limited, narrowed down to 2. And they are clean. We would never take them to a Broadway show that was not clean. And we did a research on all of that. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's pretty important. Mr. J.
Yeah, ninth through 12th grades, yep.
9th through 12th grade, yep. Drama, high school drama includes musical theater. Another question in the back?
How many are you expecting per students? Like how big is the group are you expecting?
We're hoping with chaperones we're at 100. Mm-hmm.
Do the different performing arts groups split up into different things?
Only a couple of times. Choir wants to perform twice, nobody else does. So during the one performance that choir is going to go to, everybody else will do something different. And then there is a time when we have dance workshops that are going to be separate from, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that'll all be separate.
So does that mean we could room with students who are part of like different groups?
Yes.
Any other? Oh, we got another one. They're in your, well, your teacher has them, and if they haven't put them in Google Classroom yet, they will do that right away.
Say sponsorships?
She's talking about are you talking about the ECA letters?
Yeah, the tour sponsorship template that you were talking
Oh, the sport tour sponsorship, the templates, yes, yes. Those are the ECA templates. Those 3 letters are the templates for
She's
that.
talking about the one you had in the slide.
Yes, we are working on that one still. Yeah.
Parents don't have access.
To Google Classroom, right. Well, you should. Every scholar that's on Google Classroom, there's a thing that says invite guardian, and they should invite their guardian so that you can always see in their Google Classroom. Yeah, yeah. And if not, that's okay. We will make these things very available.
So her band teacher will put all the other band.
Correct, under band, correct. Yes. Question.
So kind of along with the Google Classroom thing, but the tour doesn't have its own Google Classroom, it's just.
It doesn't, but I might, as she was asking that question, I thought we did that for Hawaii. We did our own Google Classroom just for tour. Once we know who's going on tour, then we created a Google Classroom and put everybody on tour in that. That way everybody was getting the same information. So I think we will do that. That was a brilliant choice we made. Okay.
Yes. They might be competing though.
If they compete, no. So we're doing our very best, like it's still, but that is the goal, that you could do as much as possible. I know one of our sort of big workshops with the theater is for everybody to attend. So yeah, that's why we're trying not to separate as much as possible. Okay? Question back there. They are not. The band are not bringing instruments, and the string teacher, do you want to speak into that? No. Okay, so they don't want to do that. Mr. Blau. Mr. Blau.
I couldn't imagine trying to take a drum set on the or a string bass. It just,
Arts appreciation, not performance.
let alone trying to get them on the plane too. We would love to. Logistically, it just, we can't make it equal what we want it to.
If we had a coach bus, that would be a different situation for orchestra. But we are going to have workshops for the band and orchestra scholars, and that's in the works right now with like professors and professionals. So without instruments, there's a lot that we can do.
Good questions. Yes.
Do sponsorships go to specific scholars, or can you do sponsorships for specific scholars, or to the group as a whole?
So that was her question was, can a sponsorship go to a specific scholar? So here's what we do. The sponsorship goes to the school for their tax purposes. The school, yeah, but it's still going to the school for tax purposes. The school then tracks that so that then they name the scholar. For, does that make sense? Are there any accountants in the room? Okay, do you want to speak into that?
No, it's basically they contribute to a tax credit and everything else is done for them, so it's okay.
Great, good, that was a good thing. Yes, so the sponsorship, you can say, will you sponsor my kid? You can, but their donation doesn't go to them, it goes to the school. Then we put it towards their bottom line.
So on the form, they'll say Susie in band, or whatever.
So that's also like, if your scholar cancels, they don't get that money back. That sponsorship just goes in the pool that is then shared by everyone. So that's kind of like why it's not going to specific student per se, even though that student can receive like a credit for bringing in the sponsorship, but like tax-wise, we can't say this is going to Susie's tour because wouldn't be tax deductible.
Right. Okay. Yes. Correct. Well, but you want to hear? So Mrs. Willis was just talking about that. You want to talk about that again? So
We're gonna have some kind of participation, like they're gonna be doing things. We won't have instruments, but there are things we can do musically without the instruments. They're not gonna sit and just listen. That is not something I'm about.
I already talked to the Ballroom 3 students about my idea. I had mentioned it to you possibly, haven't gotten approval yet, so that's why I don't want to say exactly, but it would be more low-key casual thing, but I do have an idea for Ballroom 3. They know.
And then in drama, it's like participation workshops. Again, they're not going to go then get on the Broadway stage and have a Broadway audience and perform for them, but they will be doing active participation workshops.
right. But as choir, we bring our instruments with us, so we have that awesome opportunity, right, to get to sing in a beautiful cathedral, and everyone will participate in that, be a part of it. Yes. Well, if they're at the same time, you'd have to choose. If they're not at the same time, then you do both. Yeah. Okay, good questions. Yes. Well, we do have the subway, but you probably want to talk about that.
There's 2 speeds in New York, fast and stop. So we will be walking a lot, and it's going to be crowded in Times Square. It'll be crowded on some of the sidewalks, and so you got to pay attention. You got to make sure that you're together, that you're with your chaperones, that you're not lollygagging, so to speak. But yeah, there is a lot of walking, so keep that in mind.
And chaperones need to always make sure that your little puppies are close by.
Also remember, this is March. I've been in New York in the middle of March when there's been 2 feet of snow on the ground. I've been in New York when it's 70 degrees and nice out. So you just don't know what the weather's going to be like. It's very fickle that time of year.
Great. Okay, we've got some more questions in the back. Say it again. I couldn't hear you. Oh yeah. But well, by yourself doesn't. Not by yourself. No, you're still with the group. Yeah. You need to be in charge of knowing that your 4 scholars are in your vicinity at all times. Okay, so you never have to go, oh, we're going from this location to this location and how we do. Never. Never. But that's a great question.
Also, you know, we're in Midtown. When you're staying in Midtown, almost everything you're doing in Midtown is going to be really easy to find anyway. You know, when you're going to walk from here to a restaurant and say, well, we want to go to Times Square with our group, to the actual Times Square to see everything, all the lights and everything else, it's a block away. That's not going to be hard. You can find your way back to the hotel. It's actually really easy. New York is based on streets and avenues. Streets run east-west, avenues runs north-south, and it's very, very simple. So easy to get around.
Okay. And then there was another one. Yes. No, you'll have a luggage. You'll have a checked bag. Yeah. But the price is for 4 to a room. So if you are a chaperone and you want to share a room with one other person, then there's an additional cost for that. To cover the cost of the hotel, yeah. So we don't know yet, but we don't.
Do you have that folder I gave you? It's on there.
Okay.
So if you want to stay 3 to a room, it's an extra $75 per person for the whole trip. If it's 2 per room, it's $225 per person in that room for the whole trip, additional. And if it's a single, if you want to stay in a room all by yourself, it's $675. That's just adults only. That doesn't have to do with kids. But yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yes. Free time, what's that? We will give you time to do that, but it won't be like, oh yeah, you guys go. We're all doing that. So yeah, so. Okay. Are there one more, anybody? Okay. Oh, all right. I think what we need to do now, we're going to line up for ice cream. If you do have another question, maybe just come on up. All the teachers are going, except I don't think Mrs. Alston is able to go. No. She would love to go. Believe me, she is all in, like Flynn. All right. Well, thank you all so very much for taking your time to be here. Yay! Woo!
Show we're going to.